On Good Morning El Paso.
He was a good cop. He did serve his community honorably.
And that same good cop is now going to prison after pleading guilty to raping a teenage girl. What the girl had to say to him in court.
But right now what this community needs, the FSU community, the Tallahassee community, is prayer.
Breaking overnight news. A shooting at Florida State University leaves 3 people injured and the gunman dead. The intense video from the scene coming up.
But what I'm going to be laying out is the things that I can do with my lawful authority as president to make the system work better.
Happening tonight, the president will unveil his plan on immigration. We have a preview of what that plan might entail.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
The deadly weather continues once again in Buffalo, New York. People there are bracing for 2 or more feet of snow today. This is video of what's called thunder snow, where lightning actually strikes during a snowstorm. And what's worse is that after all the snow falls, a warm-up over the weekend could turn all that snow into floodwater. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning El Paso. I'm Hillary Floren. And I'm Stephanie Valle. The time is 6:01 on your Thursday morning, almost to the weekend. You can feel it. Yeah, you pretty much can. Yeah, this week has been long. Not quite. Yeah, we still have to get there, though. We still have to get through today, and Crystal's going to help us get through the day by giving us our weather forecasts.
Don't the days feel a little bit longer when it's super cold and you just don't want to get out of bed? The good news is our shot right now showing us we're starting to warm up around the borderland. Your sun beginning to rise outside. A beautiful shot from our ABC7 exclusive mountain cam. And as we mentioned, your conditions this morning a little warmer than the past few mornings. Still cold enough you're not going to want to get out of bed, I'll admit it. But 35 is your temperature outside in El Paso right now. Your wind chill or feel like temperature 31 degrees. Your winds at 5 miles per hour as a result. So we are looking at a temperature that feels like it's below freezing, but good news is at least it feels like it's still in the 30s instead of the 20s or the teens. Can't say the same for Las Cruces. We're actually at 28 degrees there. Mostly clear outside and your winds are calm. A check on our clouds and radar map showing us yet again another clear start to the day, and it should be another sunny day. In fact, today's the day where we're talking even more warming through the afternoon. A pretty good Thursday ahead of us. We'll talk more about that, plus the weekend changes ahead of us in just about 10 minutes from now.
All right. Thanks so much, Crystal. Happening today, President Obama could unveil sweeping changes to immigration reform. But how he could do it is actually drawing strong objections from Republicans. Good morning, El Paso's Andrew J. Polk is live with details. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Hillary and Stephanie. We will be live streaming President Obama's address at 6 p.m. tonight, where he is expected to unveil some big changes to programs he says that have been bogged down in Congress. Now, the plan could include temporary legal status and work permits for up to 5 million undocumented immigrants. It's also expected to address deportation for students and families, but sources say it does not include a pathway to citizenship or access to federal health care benefits. Now, Obama is taking this executive action because he says the incoming Republican control of Congress will likely make legislative action on this very difficult. And Republicans in Congress and across the country are outraged.
He goes through with this, and he sticks a finger in the eye of the American people with no thought about it, other than this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. Then I think he jeopardizes long-term the Democrats ever to get back in power again in Washington, D.C.
So we'll know more about the plan and the likely response tonight at 6 p.m. Again, we'll be live streaming the entirety of the speech on our website, KVIA.com. So for now, reporting near the U.S.-Mexico border, Andrew J. Polk, ABC7.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And now to that breaking news overnight. A shooting at Florida State University has left 3 people injured. It took place inside and around the school's library just after midnight. Let's go now to ABC's Tamon Bradley. He has the latest developing right now.
There has been a shooting in the library. Stay where you are.
That announcement heard by FSU students huddled among library shelves.
If anybody has a victim, if anybody has been shot, call 911 on your cell phone.
3 people were wounded and taken to a nearby hospital. Photos posted online show the dramatic scene. Students' hands raised as a SWAT team enters. An officer armed with a rifle in the lobby and a makeshift barricade, tables overturned, blocking a second-floor door.
There's basically this whole commotion on the first floor, total chaos.
Florida State junior Guillermo Page was in the library.
People started yelling about a shooter. Basically, we were told to gather all of our stuff. Not even told, it was just like screamed. We ran upstairs. By the time we got up to the third floor, we heard another 6 or 7 shots in quick succession outside the building.
Police flooded the campus, engaged the gunman who was killed. Still, no one is taking any chances. Police cleared the students one by one from inside the library. They were taken to another building, then interviewed by authorities. Their belongings eerily left behind. Mon Bradley, ABC News, Washington.
Crimes Against Persons is now investigating a death this morning after a man was killed while working on a tractor trailer. It happened around 5:30 yesterday evening at an auto lot off Gateway West in Horizon. A spokeswoman with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office tells us the 40-year-old man was working on the trailer when the jack stand holding it gave out. The man got pinned underneath the trailer and died at the scene. Authorities say the man was a part-time employee at S&S Truck Sales. He has yet to be identified. New information right now on last weekend's shooting at Club Chaos. Fort Bliss officials confirm that the suspected gunman, 23-year-old Martin Daniel Guerrero, is a specialist with the 1st Armored Division at Fort Bliss. Police say Guerrero was kicked out of the nightclub early Sunday. That's when he allegedly returned, firing a gun at the entrance and wounding 5 people. Guerrero is being charged with 5 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Today's the 3rd day of quarantine at Fort Bliss for 68 military personnel who just spent time in West Africa. ABC 7 has learned one of them is being evaluated after complaining of Ebola-like symptoms. Fort Bliss officials tell ABC 7 the soldier was tested for Ebola at Beaumont Army Medical Center and that test was negative. He is still being monitored, though, at the hospital. And that serviceman was part of the first plane load of troops from Liberia that landed at Biggs Army Airfield Tuesday. Yesterday, more than 100 Fort Bliss soldiers are taking their place. The troops will begin aiding Ebola treatment units with transportation and logistics. We spoke with the wife of one of the deployed soldiers. She says her husband is in good hands.
I'm a nurse, and so I'm very familiar with everything that's going on, and I've been following it, and I believe they have all the appropriate precautions in place, and I'm not worried about him catching anything.
The troops are expected to be gone 9 to 12 months. And at 6:07 now, looking at Loop 375 and North Loop with the help of our TxDOT traffic cameras. Looking pretty quiet out there. Looks like a steady stream of folks still driving to work this morning, but no problems to report.
As the east side of town continues to grow, does the city need a new police command station?
What ABC 7 learned later in this newscast also.
When all is said and done, this snowfall may break all sorts of records.
Round 2 of that colossal winter storm pummels parts of New York City overnight, and it's only going to get worse from here. The Storm Track weather coverage continues with our local look at the forecast, which is a lot better than that.
Yeah, at least no snow in the forecast, Crystal.
Yeah, thank goodness, no snow in the forecast, and actually that warm-up does continue. But what about rain in the forecast as we move into your weekend? We'll talk about it after your break.
It's Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.